Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of Hello World with your girl Joy from Be the Difference Clothing. How is everyone doing? I have to definitely check out to make sure that there is no buffering at all. And so far, so good. Looks pretty decent. No buffering, no buffering, no buffering. I absolutely Hey, Mrs. Newton. Hi, Rosie. How are you? I absolutely love that. I think StreamYard doesn't, um, I think the application doesn't buffer as much, or the camera doesn't buffer as much. Hey, J Dog. How are you? Hey, Eva. How are you? What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing this lovely day? Um, as always, I like to remind everyone to like, subscribe, share, turn on your lovely little ding-a-ding-ding notification bells. And also, if you can, give me some thumbs, something. I don't want to sway you any particular way, but give a thumbs up if you can. Um, hey, Eat Sleep, how are you? So, guys, Rosie, are you going to talk about the story you wanted to tell me? Uh, I saw that. Oh, wow, that's so dope, J Dog. I have to go check that out. Um, for some reason, the notifications don't come. Like, I don't get notified as much, like something isn't right, but I do see the emails like hours later. So, J Dog, I saw that. Um, Hey, Maurice, how are you? Welcome to Hello World. I believe this is your first time here, so welcome. So you guys know how I like to usually start off as how my day went. So I woke up this morning, I went to work, and let's see, I got a few things done. I checked off a few things on my list. Let me see how many things I checked off. Sometimes I write things on my list that I'm like, I want to do, then I just somehow avoid it. Yeah, I did two, one on each side. I did not go to the gym at all. So work was decent, but when I left work, I just came here and took a nap because I've been doing a lot of late nights lately and I'm just so tired. And I wake up early, so I'm just tired. And so I took a nap, and when I woke up, I thought it was the next day. Actually, I didn't know what day it was. And I was like, oh man, like my knees were hurting, my legs were hurting. Then I was contemplating, should I cook? Should I buy something to eat? I'm trying to gain weight, but should I buy something to eat? Should I cook? And I was like, well, if I cook, then there's not enough ingredients for me to have like a real meal. And I was like, well, I'll just cook instead. So I decided to cook, and there's something on the stove now, which I just remembered I forgot to put something in there. Hey, how are you, Mr. Streaming? How are you? Hi, Patricia. How is everyone doing? Thank you for joining me on Hello World. How was your day, guys? And since you're here, I want to also announce that I will be on Bo Knows channel, and that's it tonight, like around 9 p.m. So, I'm going to put his link in the chat. I got to go find it real quick. So I will be interviewing, and Eat Sleep Amazon will be there as well. So if you have no idea who she is, you definitely want to check that interview out. I think she's going to pop in for a little bit and tell you all about what she's about and what she is striving to do with YouTube and also in her business life. And I think it's very interesting. So you should definitely stick around and jump on over to that channel while I'm grabbing the link right now. So yeah, I labeled today's topic as protect because guys, we need to protect a whole lot. Not mainly we need to protect our spirits, our souls. This is the link to Bo Knows channel. We will be there. Me and Eat Sleep will be there around 9 p.m. tonight. So feel free to hop on over there. You may meet some new friends if you're trying to grow your channel. and get to know new people, definitely want to check it out. Bo knows around 9 p.m. Hey, Flat Earth, how are you? And in the meantime, get to know each other in the chat. Like, I have some really cool people that have supported me from day one. And I definitely feel like I need to say thank you and to shout you out. Eva is one of those people. And then who else? Who else? J Dog definitely came on in for the clincher. Mrs. Newton, I haven't known Mrs. Newton for a long time, but you know, she's coming and I really appreciate that support. And you know who else too? Tatted Hearts came in on the back end as well. And he or she is not here at this moment. But I definitely am excited that, you know, you guys spend a little bit of time and believe in what we talk about as something worth your time to listen to. And I really appreciate that. And everybody who's new to the chat, I appreciate you too. Whether you were referred or recommended by YouTube or referred by another channel, or maybe you saw me in other people's channels throughout the course of the day and just said, okay, she's live. Let me see what she's talking about. I really appreciate you giving me a little bit of time. I promise we talk about cool things. Hey, Lucas, how are you? Welcome to Hello World. Hi, Miss Spoken Words. How are you? Oh, really? Okay. I don't know. Let me look on the other end to see if it's buffering on my end. I don't see that. But guys, honestly, I am absolutely thankful that you guys support me and support the channel. Like, I am like very close to hitting 1K. And I was just thinking today, like, what would I do once I hit 1K? I already have the plans in my mind, but I'm like, wait, where am I going to go? What other places can I go besides the gym? And like, can I, you know what I mean? Like, all of those things, it just changed the whole dynamics of the timing that I won't have to rush to get to a certain location where there's definite Wi-Fi or whatever. And I'm just like, this is cool. Hi, how are you, Hannah? Hey, Ricardo, Storage Pirate. Well, Storage Pirate, Ricardo. How are you? Ricardo is definitely another person who has supported me from day one. I appreciate you guys. And just for all of you around, whether you're new or old, I appreciate you. The love is still the same, but I definitely am thankful for that. Protect. Guys, this is what I'm saying. We are all like people that we're all created, right, to help each other out. But a lot of times, and I speak about this quite often, a lot of times we spend more time trying to protect others that we forget that our very soul needs to be protected. And not everybody and not every person that you seek out to protect and not everybody that is in your life seeks out to protect you. So you have to start protecting yourself first. You have to start protecting yourself first. And that's not stating that you should be selfish and like say, oh, well, whatever, what I want and what my needs are more important than someone else. That's not the case. What I'm saying is generally consider yourself in the equation. Ways to protect yourself. One, you will notice that there are some people in your life who like to pick up the phone or text you or whatever the case may be. Mostly see you in your face or whatever case. You guys know those friends that you have, right? Those friends, family members, or just people you know, right? They love calling you. And whenever they call you, it's, hey, how you doing? But girl, let me tell you what happened to me today. Like, I cannot believe my boss. I can't believe my coworker and my boyfriend, my girlfriend. I can't believe them. They did this. Emotional suckers. Protect yourself. While it's okay to listen to them talk, some people rant. Some people really truly vent. It's okay to listen to all of that, but protect yourself. Know that when you are in that situation and you feel like, wait a second, you're forgetting about the common denominator, which is me, who is sitting here, and you couldn't even ask me how my day was or what's going on in my life. Emotional suckers, emotional energy suckers. Protect yourself. You don't have to get rid of these people. But what you do have to do is say, hey, hold up, wait a minute. I don't mind, hearing everything that's going on in your life, but man, I have some trauma going on in my life. Trauma, not problems, trauma. I have some trauma going on in my life. And you will know if they truly care about you if they actually stop and want to listen. Because like I'm thinking about myself, right? There's some people when I have a trauma that I want to talk about, all of a sudden they got to go. Ooh, girl, I gotta go. Somebody's calling me. Ooh, but I gotta go eat or I gotta go to the gym. Emotional suckers. Emotional energy suckers. Again, you don't have to cut them out of your life, but just know you got to try to balance it a little bit, even if it ends up looking like this. Even if it ends up looking like this, but feel like you are in the midst of the conversation and not just plywood that they're talking to. Emotional. I don't know who that is. But emotional drainers, protect yourself. And also sometimes protecting yourself also means that even if you don't get your point or your words across, that you won't be affected by the fact that you didn't even get to be heard, that your voice wasn't heard, that you didn't feel like you were important enough to add to the conversation. So guys, protect yourself. Other ways you can protect yourself. Watch what you eat. I often talk about health quite often. And guys, I am not the poster child of great health because look, I got cookies. And I try to convince my own self that, if I eat just a piece of it, then it's more than just one. You see how tiny that cookie is? A lot of y'all probably like, what's wrong with you? Just put the whole thing in your mouth and eat that. That's not even a little piece. That's not even a real cookie. That's just me. But guys, protecting ourselves. One, when you have anything going on in your life, let's just say any stressors or like good things, even great moments in your life, right? Can cause you to be like, oh, let me celebrate. Or, oh, let me just eat because all of a sudden you're hungry because you're either upset or you're even more hungry because you're excited. Fine. Put good things in your mouth. Put good things in your body. I'm stabbing myself right now because that hurts. I could eat an apple, but who wants to eat? I don't want to eat an apple, but it's good for me. I could eat a banana. I don't want no banana. I want a cookie. But guys, these are different ways on how we can protect ourselves. And if you tuned in on Sunday, I had the Shamrock Pixie. She was here on the channel and she was talking about mental health. And I just brought up, well, hey, do you think that maybe some of the things that you eat could probably affect your mood? And I kind of believe that. I haven't researched or proven the fact that what you eat can, absolutely change your mood, but I just feel like it does. So protect yourself by what you eat. Even if you're not the healthiest person, maybe just say, okay, I'm going to try. And I'm trying, guys. You saw like over the summer, I had some cherries. I was eating cherries instead of cookies and potato chips. I was doing my best, but cherries are out of season. Now I need to purposely go into the supermarket and find another fruit that might be appetizing and eat that so that I can avoid eating the cookies and the potato chips that always seem to call my name. You say, Joy, come on, Joy, eat me. And I'm like, okay, fine. Protect yourself. Sometimes mind over matter in that area does not work. Not at all. Not at all. But I'm going to try. Because I feel like, as I always say, this is one gift that I have. And I want to try to live the healthiest I can possibly live so that as I get older, I won't have to be dependent on anyone else. And I'm not saying that I won't need to depend on anyone else, but if I can purposely prevent or delay that process, why not? Eventually, if we all reach a certain age, we will need help from others. That's the inevitable. Because as you grow, you need help. And as you go, you need help. Other ways you can protect yourself. Watch what you look at and watch what you see. No, watch what you see and watch what you hear. Not every story is a real story. Things are made up all the time. And sometimes we go believing whatever is said. And I'm probably guilty of that from time to time. But when you protect yourself, you can either prevent yourself from getting hurt by the information that wasn't as sound as you thought it was. And also, you would not have spread that information that was not good information to other people who now are being affected by the information you gave them. Who wants somebody to come back and be like, you're a liar, you don't know what you're talking about? But I heard. What you mean you heard? You didn't research it? So then you just gonna tell me willy-nilly all this other stuff? That's the backlash that could come, and some people are just like, whatever. I'm just saying. It's not easy, guys. Life is definitely not easy, but it's definitely worth living. Once you come to that point where you understand how life is worth living, you'll start to automatically want to protect yourself. You will. Because as I've stated previously in many occasions and many chats, has anybody ever come from the dead to explain to you what actually happens after? Like literally come back from the dead in their own bodies and say, hey, and I understand and know that it's truly you that used to live. This is what you can look forward to. I mean, that has never happened to me. If it happened to you guys, please let me know. Hey, Anna. Hey, Diamond Green. Hey, Patties. How are you? So until that happens, enjoy every moment. Protecting yourself is one of those moments. Because when you protect yourself, you'll naturally want to start protecting others, right? Because we covered ways that we can protect ourselves first, right? Protect others. You know, sometimes we want to tell each other the truth, and the truth may definitely harm, or maybe not even harm, but hurt the person's feelings. Want to not tell that unless it's necessary, right? Because we have to pick and choose our battles. Some things are necessary and are inevitably going to hurt somebody. But you can always try to ease it in gently, like, hey, I just want to tell you. But you can protect someone by just saying, hey, you know, depending on what the situation is, you can gently tell them. I mean, I can't offhand think of anything at this moment, but you can think for yourselves. Things that you know you need to tell somebody that may hurt, but it's for their benefit. Do it gently. Because think of yourself in that opposite position if someone were to tell you something that may hurt you a little bit, but help you in the end. Protecting others. What are you willing to do to protect your fellow brother, sister, mankind? Are you going to run for office and not accept the money that could potentially make you end up doing and passing laws that are favorable for the person that gives you the money? Are you going to be a drug dealer because you think there's no other way for you? Are you willing to change that mindset and say, hey, I think my life is worth a little bit more than that. I don't believe I should be in a cage, in a cage where I'm locked in 23 hours a day, especially since I know what it feels like to be outside in the open, talking to other people, going and coming as I please, wearing clothes that I would like to wear, wearing shoes that I would like to wear, being warm with blankets when I feel like being warm with a blanket or not, having air conditioning at will. You may say, if you are a drug dealer, and I'm not, I mean, I can say a whole lot about it, but I'm not going to judge you because I don't know why and what happened to you, because there's plenty of people who have gotten into the drug game not by choice, right? So we have to remember there are people who have gotten into the drug game not by choice, right? I've heard of situations where a kid had to end up carrying from place to place because their family member was going to get killed or murdered by the dealer. Maybe their family member is addicted to the substance, and in order to pay that debt, you become the target and you become the runner. See, those are situations where, people are groomed into being a drug dealer, right? Oh, and how about the violence that may come with it? I don't think I've ever heard of anybody who was a drug dealer that got off scot-free without having some type of issue. Again, I am not condoning the behavior, but I also want us to realize some people really don't do it because it's a choice. Some people are forced to. Can they get out? Absolutely, they can get out. How? Ooh, might be with their own lives, might be the need to move, but also, like, if that money comes so fast, some of them are making more money than a person who actually pays taxes makes in a week. So to try to convince them to do otherwise, again, I don't condone the behavior. I don't condone that at all. But the psychology is, wait a second, I'm making more money than you have ever made in a year. I don't know. We can go back and forth with that all day. I do not condone it because I've seen so many people who've been affected negatively by the use of drugs, personally and indirectly. And it's not cool. But I blame no one. Because it's the same way you want a drug dealer to stop drug dealing, is the same way you want to tell an addict to stop being an addict. I'm just saying. Guys, it's not about saying, oh, this is wrong or whatever. Like, what I'm talking about is wrong. It's just something to make us all think about maybe other people's perspectives that we don't agree with. I absolutely don't agree with drugs at all. I would never want to touch heroin. I would never want to touch cocaine. Because another thing too is you have no idea what your family history is. Protect yourself. Get to know your family history. Get to know your DNA. Get to know who may have been addicted to some type of substance in your family, whether it be your parents or your uncles and your aunts or your grandparents, because you never know. That blood is thick. It's not to say that you're going to be an addict, but it is to say that if one day you pick that up, you may be more susceptible to than the next. And even with alcohol, guys, because alcohol is a drug. And I think a lot of people indulge in alcohol, but can be okay with just indulging here and there. But then you have those who indulge a little too much and become alcoholics. All because maybe there was someone in their family gene that made it sensitive for you to ingest that particular substance. Just something for you to think about. And it's worth finding out about your heritage. And guys, I think we need to be a little bit more open. Another way you protect yourself is you protect your family by letting them know. Guess what? Granddaddy was this way. Grandma was this way. This is why I instill in your life as kids, right? For the kids. This is why I really push why you really shouldn't drink alcohol, why you really shouldn't touch drugs or weed or whatever the case may be. Again, I'm not against or above or for anybody who delves in any of these things, but just be careful because you might become a victim. And you don't become a victim, you become a victim of the substance, right? Because it starts eating away at all of the great cells, especially these up here. And there's one thing I will say though, I believe there comes a point in time that some people are strong enough to say enough. So if you happen to be a person who is suffering from any substance abuse and you have absolutely tried your best to do it on your own and know that you can't do it on your own, I applaud you because that's the first step in saying I need help. And that's the first step in saying I'm going to do better. So I applaud you in that. I'm not going to say, oh, shame on you. Why did it take you so many years? No. Because the same way you can turn around and be to me like, why did it take you so long to do X, Y, and Z? We got to be gentle with each other, protecting each other. And ultimately, because we're all humans, right? And everything we do can transfer. If you end up, and I've seen this personally, if you end up having the trait, or if you were like an ex-abuser of any sort of substance and you end up having a child, your child may be born with whatever substance that was left in your body. I've seen it. I've seen a baby detox. I've seen a baby detox. A baby. And they're like preemies. They're not even full size. I've seen a baby detox. A baby detox. Literally, I've seen many babies detox. Many babies detox. I've seen many babies detox. So yes, all of this right here, or everything that's in our systems, it passes on. Let's protect ourselves because inevitably we're protecting others who are innocent and should have a better chance than we did. Protecting our kids. Protecting your kids could mean that, you have to really give up all of the freedom. Well, not all of it, but a lot of the freedom and the free time that you used to have just in order to like be there for your kid. So I don't know, guys. Again, I'm not here to say that what any of us do is right or wrong. I'm not here to say that, but all I'm here to say is let's consider ways that we can protect ourselves and our community. And if it means that you may have to sacrifice a little bit of pleasure that could end up resulting in a little bad, something negative, then maybe you might want to think about that and protect everyone. Here's another one. Protecting each other by maybe holding our tongues. And I think I mentioned that earlier. I think that freedom of speech, I think we get that a little mixed up, right? While we have the freedom of speech, sometimes everything that comes to mind doesn't have to be said because you never know if it may hurt or harm someone. And I don't think a lot of people intend or their intent is to hurt someone. I don't think so. I really don't. But it happens and we're human and we should be human enough to say, I'm sorry, especially if someone brings it to your attention, especially if. Do you know how many friendships and relationships can be like, not maybe completely come to a true men's, but at least we can tolerate each other a little bit more? Like, division is what keeps us from being a community. And while we all have our reasoning as to why we decide to do something or not do something when it comes to other people and how we interact with them, again, you have the free will to do whatever you'd like. But sometimes you might have to bite the bullet and just say, you know what, if it's going to end up ultimately making the community a little better, maybe I'll bite down a little bit on my pride just to protect my community. I bite my tongue a lot. And I know we all have lots of experience of when someone may have hurt our feelings or, stepped on our toes. We all do, right? No one is exempt. No one is like, has had a more worse experience because guess what? We all handle things differently, right? What may have upset you to the core may not upset me at all. I'm like, oh, really? So, and it all depends on your emotions. Do I think we need to walk around on eggshells with people? No, I don't think so. I don't think so either. But I think we can kind of come to a little fine line. I think the best thing that we can possibly do is learn how to play chess. I've mentioned that before because when we learn how to play chess, we start thinking 5 steps ahead. And maybe once you think 5 steps ahead, what your actions may possibly do, you're like, maybe it's not worth me doing that action or saying that thing, even though you're dying to do it anyway. Sometimes you just can't help yourself. And you just got to do it. Like I'm like perfect example. I'm trying my best when it comes to driving and I'm not a terrible driver. I just think that if a lot more people were a little bit more considerate, like, let me tell you this example. So yesterday I was driving, right? I was driving and the whole front of my car was already in the lane and the guy was about 20 feet behind me. He sped up and I was like, wait, he sped up and I had to get myself out the lane. And I was like, I mean, as I was driving past, I was hoping that he would see my face and I'll be like, But his windows were tinted and he was looking straight forward. And I was like, So I let it go. And I was extremely happy when I did let it go. Instead of trying to cut him off and get in front of him, I just was able to stay in the lane that I was in and keep going. The light stayed green and they ended up staying back. So I was like, that's what you get. Now, I did tell you guys about that other situation where the girl behind me went into one lane and came right back in. And then the car behind her was the car that was behind me, she literally cut off, literally cut off to the point where he had to slam on his brakes a little. Homegirl was opened her car door, started yelling out the door. And there was in that truck, in that little van, the driver was a man and it was a little girl. She couldn't have been more than 10, sitting right there. He opened his door too, guys. 2 wrongs don't make a right. And they forgot this little girl was sitting there. I don't know the family dynamics of what the girl may go through with if that was her father, uncle. I have no idea because I didn't stop them to ask. But one, the girl behind me was wrong and she still didn't care. And I know when she was doing whatever, yelling and hollering and screaming, because she put her car in park and started yelling, I was just looking in the rearview mirror like, man, this little girl, she was just sitting there like this in the passenger side, front seat, just sitting there like this. I was like, man, I hope that didn't traumatize her. That whole situation could have been avoided. Maybe if the girl stayed in the lane, she would have realized the lane that we were in was actually moving a lot better. And that we were still in traffic, so chill out. And maybe if the guy didn't want to react to whatever she was saying when she had her door open and then he decided to open his door, like, I was just like, man, the only person that's being affected is this little girl who's just sitting there like this. Protect our kids as much as possible, right? We can't protect them from everything, but we can try, right? And that action that happened is one thing. And God forbid, guys, if I ever got that angry, you know, as I'm driving and somebody cuts me off and then realize that there's a kid in there looking at me, oh my goodness, my heart will drop because I know better. And because I remember that situation, maybe that was there for me to remember, like, hey, Joy, chill out. You know, everybody is not thinking about the next driver. Everybody's mind isn't always on driving. You don't know what somebody's going through personally. You don't know if they just got into an argument. You don't know if they just got fired. Does it give them a reason to do what they do? Absolutely not. But these are things that can keep me calm so I don't get out of character and then regret it later. Guys, hey, Mary Dales, how are you? Hey, Darlene, how are you? Welcome to Hello World. Hi, Jay. Welcome to Hello World. Guys, I'm sticking the link in the chat for the interview that both me and Eat Sleep will be at around 9 p.m. I think I saw Donatella in here earlier. I'm not sure. I wasn't really looking at the chat too much because I started going off. But we're talking about protecting ourselves. Well, no, we're talking about protect. And then I started off with how we can protect ourselves first. And then I went into how we can protect our kids, and then how we can protect our minds and our bodies by different things we eat, and also just protect ourselves by just thinking a little bit more deeper than we normally do. Because when you do that, then you absolutely will be helping not only yourself, but your community, because not everything, like I said, has to be said. You'll start talking slowly and you'll be thinking more. That's a great way to protect. Listen first, respond never. Or tomorrow, maybe. Listen first and respond tomorrow. Especially when you may know it's a conflict that will be arising. That little girl, though. How many of us, when we were growing up, can say that we may have been victims or experienced when adults did some off-the-wall things and forgot that you were there? I think we all can raise our hands to some degree. You may not exactly remember what the conversation was about, but you remember the actions, maybe like the head nods or those words, those trigger words. Another thing, guys, protect yourselves with the language. Man, remember that day? I don't know who was here, but I think it was somebody for the first time here, and I really felt terrible about it. But they were here for the first time. And, you know, I honestly think that's just the way to communicate with their friends. But she was like, hey, B. Like, I don't use foul language. But that does something to me when somebody uses foul language and puts me in the same mix. Oh my goodness, I got so angry at that person. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I literally was like, you know what? After that chat, I was like, man, I should have really, really just taken that a little differently and be like, hey, I don't use foul language. So if you want to say hello to me, just say hello, Joy, or whatever. And I don't know, maybe I turned them off. Or maybe, I don't know. But like, after that, I was like, I mean, I'm glad that it happened, because at least now I'm more aware of how I can respond if someone does come in the chat, not realizing who I am and what triggers me, that I could take it a little better. Or maybe it'll let other people know, like when they come into this chat, they'll get a sense of like, wait, I don't see too much foul language going on in here. Let me just kind of like just say hello in a different way than I normally would. Because not everybody understands everything and your intent. So that was my example of how I kind of was like, man, like, don't curse at me. That's the way I took it. But I don't think they meant it that way. I've never seen them again. But needless to say, the experience has taught me to just listen first, respond tomorrow. Guys, listen first, respond tomorrow. So anyway, as I was saying about the language, I don't know about you, but if somebody says, girl, you a, or F that, like what? Maybe we can articulate ourselves differently. I mean, I know it's easier to come up with short words, but wouldn't it be even better to use exciting adjectives and nouns and verbs? Remember what those things mean and actually put it together in a sentence instead of saying F this, F that. I'd rather prefer. I absolutely did not like. I extremely did not like. I don't know. But language, guys. Have you ever noticed that people are a little bit more aggressive when they use foul language? Have you noticed that? I mean, maybe because I'm sensitive to foul language. Now, mind you, there are people around me that use foul language. It doesn't bother me, but I'm just saying, like, in general, just think about it. If we weren't using foul language and were like speaking differently, do you think a lot more people would be aggressive in their response or aggressive in their actions? I'm just saying, something to think about. It's only a theory. Because to me, I feel like foul language to me is always denoted like something bad is happening. Right? You ever think about that? Oh, that just hit me right now. You ever think about that? Like OS usually is like you're surprised or something bad happened, right? FU is usually in anger. No, that B didn't. Well, now people, well, no, that could be used in anger too. Think about it. Whether, no, that girl didn't. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's in my head, but like if I say, no, that girl didn't, I don't think I would think that's as aggressive. I don't know, guys. Just think about it. The next time you have a conversation with somebody who frequently uses all various colorful words, just think about the mood that they're in or the tone of voice that they're using in. Just think about it and see if maybe there might be a little thing. I don't know. I could be wrong. But anyway, guys, just think about it. Protect as much as you can. So guys, I am here on Hello World every single night between 7 and 9. That means I go on between those hours. Hello World is all about talking about everything and anything, right? This is a comfortable place. This is a place where we try to be as judgment-free as possible. And I come in as judgment-free as possible. And to take whatever we learn in the chat or elsewhere and try to really be the difference and really be a beacon of light for those who are hopeless, right? Because there are too many people that are still hopeless. Let's not let another person be hopeless, right? Let's continue to grow and be who we are purposed to be, so that no man or woman or child is left behind emotionally, maybe physically too. Even protecting someone could mean, like, whether you know them or not, maybe giving them a meal or inviting them into your home. Like, the holidays are coming around, guys. There are so many people who will have had brokenness in their lives. Open up your doors. Open up your door or your doors. Open up your door to somebody that you know may be going through a hard time, or even someone that you just maybe met. Invite them in. Let them see what a family, and family to you could be like, y'all argue all the time, but it's in love. Or like, family to you could be like, just give them that atmosphere of what they can look forward to, right? So remember, guys, the holidays are coming around, and there are a lot of people who definitely suffer during the holidays for all kinds of reasons. So be thankful for the families that you do have. Families meaning like your kids or your spouse, whatever the scope may be. Just be thankful, because not everybody is blessed to have somebody. So open your door so you can be that somebody for someone in need. Yes. You guys are beautiful. You are amazing. There is no mistake about you. No matter how many times we make mistakes or fall short or just flat out think that we're not good, you are amazing. I need you to keep that at the back of your mind, at the back of your soul and your heart, to know that you can come out of anything you put your mind to. And if you need help, ask for help. Ask the appropriate people for help. You know, the people that you can trust that can help you. Ask. Our healing is only an ask away. You are the difference every day, guys. You are the difference. You make this world continue to go round. Just please add and contribute good versus bad as much as you can. Again, we're not going to get it perfect all the time, but we can try. And I think trying is half the battle. I really appreciate that if you try. Your life is not a mistake. If you want to do better, get to know who you are. Love who you become. Oh, Melissa W. How are you? Melissa W., you're my friend. I just want to say I appreciate you. I really do. And guys, I hope that you sleep so peacefully tonight that you wake up refreshed and are ready to be the best version of yourself as much as possible. Now, we all know we have our triggers, but we can beat them. Or at least let them, slide them under the rug without the dustpan, because they'll always be there, right? You just got to stomp on that rug and all the dust will come up, but eventually we're going to have to get our dustpans and then actually throw it away. That's growth. Are you ready to grow? Are you ready to grow? Are you ready for growth? Okay, fine. I guess I am. So if you ever want to get to know anything about Joy, Be the Difference Clothing, check the links down below. There are other channels that are linked down below that you can definitely check out. They're amazing. They all have different things that you can possibly benefit from. And again, I thank you guys for giving me a little bit of your time. And I hope that you'll join me on Bono's channel. This is the link. Me and Eat Sleep will be on there around 9. So I hope that you guys go. If you do go over there, put hashtag Hello World so they know that they came from here to there. Hey, 1111. As much as you can, guys. Because guess what? We're a community. All of us are a community that can definitely help lift each other up. And I hope that we can continue to help lift each other up, guys. We've been taught too much to keep each other down. Let's do the opposite. And even if we have to fight blood, sweat, and tears, let's keep on trying to lift each other up. Even if that means biting your tongue, lift each other up as much as you can, please. That is the source and the key to our world being better. Yes, it is. By what you do, by what I do. And so until we meet again for another episode of Hello World, my name is Joy from Be the Difference Clothing. Please run on over to Bo Knows channel. I don't know if he's on right now, but just go over there and we will be over there. If you don't know anything about Eat, Sleep, Amazon, you will know because we both will be interviewed at that time. And we will definitely be thankful for your support. And as always, have a great night. And thank you again. Joy signing out for another episode of Hello